Prince was born on June 7, 1958 in Minneapolis, Minnesota. His birth name was Prince Rogers Nelson. There isn't a word big enough to describe his genius. In 2014, I was lucky enough to see him live twice in 1 week. It was a religious experience for me. Both of his parents were musicians. At the age of 7, he wrote the song Funk Machine. That's such a Prince thing to do. He often played every instrument while recording and produced his own music. He was definitely one of the most prolific artists ever. He also wrote many songs for other musicians that became huge hits. I'm curious, what was your favorite Prince song? Okay, that's probably too hard. What's your favorite album? He won countless awards and sold over 100 million albums. He was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 2004. What was he best at? Singing, writing, producing, guitar playing, dancing? He became a Jehovah's Witness in 2001. Can you imagine him coming to your house to witness to you? He said he was born an epileptic. He was married twice and had one child who sadly died a week after being born. Prince died in 2016 of an accidental fentanyl overdose. Will we ever see someone as talented? I doubt it. He was 57 years old. David Ruffin was born on January 18, 1941 in Lynott, Mississippi. He's known for his amazing soulful voice and for being the electrifying lead singer of The Temptations. He had it all: style, charisma, the moves, swagger, and the God-given voice. They had their first #1 single in December of 1964 called My Girl, written by Ronnie White and Smokey Robinson. It's easily one of the best songs I've ever heard. When Marvin Gaye spoke of David's voice, he said, "I heard a strength my own voice lacked." He also sang lead on I Wish It Would Rain, Ain't Too Proud to Beg, I Know I'm Losing You, You'll Lose a Precious Love, It's Growing, and Since I Lost My Baby, just to name a few. He was only in the group for 4 years. He was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 1989. He started singing in church as a child. He joined the Temptations in 1964. His success went to his head. He wanted to change the group's name to David Ruffin and the Temptations. He started traveling separately. His cocaine use got worse. He proposed to his girlfriend, singer Tammy Terrell, even though he was already married. He was very abusive towards her. He was fired after missing a show and for his erratic behavior. His solo career was moderately successful. He rejoined the Temptations in 1982 for an album and a tour. He was fired again later that year. He was arrested multiple times for drugs, assault, and tax evasion. He was married twice and had 4 children. He died from a cocaine overdose in 1991. Michael Jackson and Aretha Franklin paid for the funeral expenses. David was 50 years old. Phil Lynott was born on August 20th, 1949 in England. He's known for being the singer, bass player, songwriter, and founding member of the legendary Irish band called Thin Lizzy. He grew up in Dublin, Ireland. His mother was Irish, and his dad was from British Guiana. He was in several bands early on, including one called Skid Row with future bandmate Gary Moore. In 1969, he helped form Thin Lizzy. At first, Phil was very reserved on stage. On a tour with Slade, they were threatened by Slade's manager to be thrown off the tour if Phil didn't start interacting with the crowd more. His stage presence and confidence grew. He was married once and had 3 children. After Thin Lizzy ended, he put out a couple of solo albums and poetry books. My favorite Thin Lizzy song is the live version of Southbound. What's yours? Unfortunately, he developed an addiction to heroin and alcohol. He died in 1986. He had pneumonia and heart failure due to septicemia, which is a condition that arises when the body's response to infection causes injury to its own tissues and organs. He was 36 years old. He will live forever through his music. Frankie Lymon was born on September 30th, 1942 in Washington Heights, New York. He's known for being a singer and a songwriter in the 1950s group called The Teenagers. They had their first hit in 1956 with their song called Why Do Fools Fall in Love. He was 13 years old at the time. He was posthumously inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 1993. He had an amazing voice. Unfortunately, he became addicted to heroin at age 15. He was forced to grow up fast so he could help his family make money. His parents and brothers were also singers. He joined the Teenagers after meeting their singer. He soon took over lead singing duties. He went solo after a year and he struggled. He was arrested in 1966 for drug charges and he joined the US Army instead of going to jail. He was dishonorably discharged. He was married 3 times and had 1 child who died 2 days after being born. His first wife was still married to another man. His second marriage had no legal proof since they married in Mexico. In the third one, Frankie never divorced from the first 2 women. He died in 1968 from a heroin overdose. He was 25 years old. Ike Turner was born on November 5th, 1931 in Clarksdale, Mississippi. He was a musician, a singer, a songwriter, a talent scout, and a producer. He was the leader of the Ike and Tina Review with his wife of 16 years, Tina Turner. They were inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 1991. He won 2 Grammys. He had a rough childhood. He witnessed his dad severely beaten up. His stepdad was a violent alcoholic, and he was sexually abused. He quit school in the 8th grade. All of the success he had as a songwriter and a musician is overshadowed by how horribly he treated Tina Turner. They were married in 1962. In his autobiography, he said, "Sure, I slapped Tina. We had fights, and there have been times when I punched her to the ground without thinking, but I never beat her. Make that make sense." He was mentally and physically abusive. The 1993 movie called What's Love Got to Do With It didn't do him any favors. Tina has said he beat her and burned her with cigarettes. He said he probably spent $11 million on cocaine in his life. He was arrested over 10 times for various drug and weapons offenses. He has said in interviews and in his autobiography that he was married 14 times. This cannot be substantiated. He had 6 children. He died in 2007 from a cocaine overdose. He also had emphysema and heart disease. He was 76 years old. D.H. Peligro was born on July 9, 1959 in St. Louis, Missouri. His birth name was Darren Eric Henley. The D and the H are his initials, and we all know Peligro means danger in Spanish. He is most well known for being the drummer in the punk rock band called the Dead Kennedys. He was also an actor and author. He joined the band in 1981, replacing their drummer named Ted. He played on an EP and 4 albums until they broke up in 1986. In 1988, he replaced the Red Hot Chili Peppers drummer Jack Irons. He was friends with Anthony Kiedis and Flea. He didn't last very long. He was fired due to his drug and alcohol problem. Kiedis said firing DH was one of the toughest things the band ever had to do. He also played with one of my favorite bands of all time called Nail Bomb. In 2001, he played with the new version of the Dead Kennedys without Jello Biafra. He died in October of 2022 from a deadly mixture of heroin and fentanyl. He was 63 years old. Michael Jackson, also known as the King of Pop, was born on August 29, 1958 in Gary, Indiana. In 1970, his band The Jackson 5 had their first #1 hit with I Want You Back. His father Joe was mentally and physically abusive. Michael has said that he felt like he didn't have a childhood. In 1979, he released a solo album called Off the Wall. It had 4 major hits. This was just a warm-up for his 1982 album called Thriller. It was the first album I ever owned. It had 7 top 10 singles and has sold over 70 million copies. Want to see history? Here he is the first time he did the moonwalk. In 1985, he co-wrote We Are the World. After being burned while filming a Pepsi commercial, he started getting plastic surgery. Did he bleach his skin? Was it really vitiligo? Was his marriage to Lisa Marie Presley a publicity stunt? Did he really molest those kids? Do his kids actually have any of his DNA? How did he get $500 million in debt? In June of 2009, he died from cardiac arrest caused by a propofol and a benzodiazepine overdose.